Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Rusty Panda, and I am here for you. Today we've got MzFitt in the house. I wanted to make like a really big entrance for you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
a true
glad.
DJ.
Yeah, do do do. MzFitt is down. The MzFitt is down.
No.
I don't know if you ever watched Homestar Runner, but that's where that
Yes,
came from.
and
Okay, okay.
yep, yep.
So yeah, everyone, we've got MzFitt here, back from the Mixer days. We are super happy to have her on. We're going to talk about some fun topics. We were joking that Destiny, Blink-182, and Taco Bell was a perfect um, description of MzFitt, but there's a lot more to her, I promise. Um, so let's start. We've got Blink 182 up. And so I'm curious now, why Blink 182? So what started the Blink 182 fascination?
I'm not I to be honest, a lot of it was I was such an emo kid. Like I I was a stay by myself and read books and not go out with friends and stuff on weekends kind of person. And so like I think a lot of their stuff spoke to that generation at the time. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So it was kind of like, oh hey, that band, and oh it sounds cool, but like I actually relate to some of this stuff. I think was a huge part of it because it talked a lot about like high school and you know dumb stuff, and then sometimes in your feels.
Sometimes in the feels,
Yeah.
100%. I hear that. Now, MK made a joke that he liked Blink 181, but the sequel is much better. It was Blink before it was Blink 182, was it not?
Mm, yep, it
Yeah.
absolutely was. Yep.
So, let me see here when they talk about just the website is blink182.com. Okay. Let's see. Blink 182 was formed in 1992. What I'm trying to find.
Because there is another band called Blink, and
Right.
that was why they needed to change their name.
Mm-hmm. The first operator under the variety of names, including Duct Tape and Figure Eight, they rechristened the band Blink. Girlfriend at the time was annoyed by his constant attention to the band, so she thereafter 4-track record, blah blah blah. They began booking. Um, Let me see. Opening acts. So this was still Blink up until this point, up until 1995 to 1998. Um, Come on now. It's not scrolling the way I want to. Where is Warp Tour? We're going to talk about Warp Tour too. It's going to be on our list.
Oh, here it is. Meanwhile, the record also drew the attention of the Irish band Blink. That was with Cheshire Cat. That was like their first one. Well, they had one before that, Flies to Water, but
Right.
this was considered their first one. And so, because they didn't want to do legal stuff, the band agreed to change their name, and they had a week to do it.
Wow. Cargo Call
And
Patrol, and they changed the name or will change it for you. They decided on a random number, 182. How can you just name like it's kind of like NSYNC, like it's kind of they have their own weird. It's no, that's all letters of their name, right? I don't remember, but I thought NSYNC was like supposed to be random and that it sounded like something. And that to me is the randomness of 182. Like it's just like this
yeah.
is going to be our permanent number. Nah, 182. That sounds why the hell not? Let's do 182. That's
And
crazy.
now they're back. Now they're back. It's really weird to see all of these bands from like when I was young that
Yes.
they're all like coming like what like Blink 182 is at Coachella, and like seeing that everywhere it's just weird. It's at that I feel like I have days where I'm like I'm too old to go to concerts, and these
Yeah.
guys are like they're still doing it, and it's like damn, like
Yeah, the band's high charge single, the trio will support the release with the headlining of 2023 and 2024. So a set for Latin America, Lollapalooza in Chile, Argentina, Brazil was postponed after Barker sustained a finger injury. Can you imagine that your life is dependent on a
I
finger
know.
injury? Injury?
Mhm.
Injury?
He's a very fragile man, I guess.
I guess
Like
that.
he breaks a lot.
Yeah, the band's return to stage was a surprise appearance at Coachella in April. And then the We Were Young in Nevada. I wanted to
Mhm.
see that. Oh, they were at the Jason Festival in New Jersey. I did not know that. But yeah, when We Were Young in Nevada, I wanted so badly to go, and then I was like, but do I really?
I know. It's like, is it worth getting crushed by millions of people to see these bands anymore? They're all geriatric. Like I saw them when they were young. I like let's remember those times, cuz like I can't imagine seeing them. That was like, do you remember when the Rolling Stones played
This was it. The
at the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl?
Oh my
And it
god.
was like The Walking Dead came on stage, and you were
Yes.
like, "Oh my god." Like I
Yes.
that's like getting Blink 182.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Like
funny. That's
like it's
that's damn
so hard.
straight. How old are they? Wait, wait, wait. I want to know how old they are, like when they were born. So, give me something. Give me okay. So, 1972, 1975, 1975. I can't do math.
You know, I'm trying to
1975, 85, 95, 2005, 2015. So they're almost 50.
like, bruh.
They're near and 50, which is, not old, but it's you're getting there.
Well, like one of them survived a plane crash. One of
Right.
them
That's
now
right.
beat cancer, and now I don't know, maybe Tom is celebrating, like maybe they found his brain again or something, because I'm pretty sure he just like he lost
Yeah.
it there. Like
Yeah.
he went batshit for a while there.
Yeah, yeah. And then who's he was it a lot of drugs or what was the
I think he had a Percocet problem
oh,
was
okay.
was what it was with him, and that's where one of the plus for when they did their own little side project stuff, I'm pretty sure there's a song on like the Plus 44 album that talks about like how Tom was like a completely different person
Aw.
with like all and how it like affected them and stuff, and like yeah, so I know there's like something on one of those albums there.
Oh my god, Angels and Airwaves was so good.
They were so dude, I saw them in Austin, which
Oh my
is one of the
gosh.
other things on my list, but, like, dude, I was, like, front row center at, like, Stubbs in Austin, and will never it was it was like Jesus. He just stood there, like, he does have, like, a God complex, and you can tell,
Oh
because
yeah.
he really did stand there with his arms open like he was
He's
Jesus almost the
Jesus.
whole time, like
Oh my god.
but it was so, like again, I was young, and it was when the second album dropped was when I saw them, and just seeing all of his guitars. He probably
Yeah.
had $1,000,000 worth of guitars on that freaking stage, man.
I completely agree. They yeah, good equipment guitars. So, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he still owns the guitar from Dude Ranch.
Mhm.
Amps and Pedals Inspirations, Depeche Mode.
So
Sen-
before that show, somebody tried to get him to sign their Fender, the one from Dude Ranch.
oh,
That like
yeah.
the kid had one that was like it, and he wouldn't sign it. And I remember at first I was like, dude, that's fucked up. Like this kid like idolizes you just because you're not in Blink 182 anymore. But then I thought about it, and you know what? Like somebody could totally walk up to them and be like, oh my God, I'm a fan, and get the signature and then turn around and sell that guitar for
Profits.
yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh
So
my
I was
god.
like, ooh, I can kind of see that. I guess I see both sides. Yeah, Depeche Mode was a huge they that whole band, all of them, Depeche Mode and what was the other one that they liked a lot?
What did it say? Fingers and something. Hold on. No, that's maybe. Hold on.
I know they
New Order, Descendants, Stiff Little Fingers, and
Des-
U2.
Descendants, that's right. Descendants. Mark is a huge Descendants fan.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm trying to think. So we've gotten into kind of emo territory, and I know we're talking about Blink 182, but let's go a little bit further as far as your emo territory. Now, have you've been to a Warp Tour or two?
Actually not a Warp Tour,
Okay.
but all of my concerts came from it Austin. Like it all comes back to like
All right.
when I lived in Texas, weekends in Austin. I saw so many people. South by Southwest
Okay.
is the that's a and Austin City Limits, like, and so the things about those is when you go, like, okay, they have lineups, right, of all these bands that are supposed to be there, but the surprise bands that show up that you could just be, all right, I need another beer, and you're walking into like one of the bars on 6th Street, and oh my God, Guar is playing. And you're
Oh
like,
wow.
oh, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
or you're walking down or you're cutting through an alleyway to get to the other street to go meet up with your friends. And I think I saw Screeching Weasel on the other page. I know that's a huge inspiration for Blink 182 too. And we ran into them. And it's like some of the bands that I've seen on accident were just like, Texas is just great for music.
Yeah. Festival
Especially
known as
Austin,
South
yeah.
by Southwest. Oh my God, when I scroll down, it scrolls up, and that's really messing with me. Austin City Limits Music Festival, which is what you were talking about.
Mhm.
Old Settlers Music Festival, Austin Lyric Opera,
Yeah.
um, Texas Early Music Project, and then performs music from medieval and Renaissance areas. Oh, that's cool. I would go see that.
Yeah. They have some really good Renaissance fairs around Austin too.
Yeah.
Like Austin was so great,
So tell
and
me
I
why
was just
Austin was
lucky.
great besides music. What was good about Texas? Anything stand out,
Um,
or was
there
it
was just a lot of stuff, like just the area, right? So at I that was at the time I drank a lot.
okay?
So I guess the draw for that was you went and took the weekend up in Austin and hit all the bars. And it was the same thing, like a weekend in Austin, you never really knew what was going to happen because with that being the music scene, a lot of bands are from there, a lot of bands live there, and you go for a weekend not expecting anything to happen, and then, oh, hey, I saw Deftones at a dive bar. Like,
Oh
that
wow.
is, yeah. So, like, that's the kind of stuff that, so it's like, why wouldn't you want to go? Because
Right.
you really don't ever know. Like, what was another one? Because it's usually a lot of the pop punk bands that came from there. What was the one around the time of Blink 182? I can't think. Why can't I think of the name of the Riddling Kids?
The Riddling
That was
Kids.
one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look them up. The Riddling. Maybe if I spell
Think
it
it's
right.
spelled. I think it's spelled with two D's.
Riddling Kids. I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got him. Austin, Texas was made up of four guys. One, two, three, four guys.
Mm-hmm.
From 1999, met at a local pizza parlor in Austin where they formed IGMO, derived from ignorant motherfucker. The group renamed their band Ritalin, and the drug commonly used as children for adults. Okay. Following this name change, Keel and Johnson joined the band, and the Ritalin Kids released 500 copy limited EP with What Does It Matter.
Mhm.
Interesting. So they have solo careers now, it looks like.
Mhm. And a lot of them have worked on stuff for like different movies,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure.
Cameo appearance in the head, house. That's cool.
So fun, cool fact with this one, they actually played for like my birthday one year at a bar that I worked at.
That's
The
awesome.
owners were from Austin. I know, like when so I they have a lot of like side projects that they just like basically go around, right? And so like this random band was playing at the bar that I worked at. And I kept saying, like, dude, why does this drummer like look so freaking familiar? I was like, this drummer, I know him from something. And like this is one of the bands that I used to have like posters on my wall with Blink 182 and stuff like that. So like I know what these guys look like.
Right.
But I like could not place it. Like I could not place it at all. And then a couple months later was when it was my birthday and the like my boss, they were all like, yeah, we got a surprise for you, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay. I never in a million, like when I got there, like they had like this special poster and stuff, and like when they came out and like the first song played, like dude, remember when you used to laugh at all the girls on like the Backstreet Boys videos that cried?
Yeah.
You're like, dude, why are you crying? You are such a
Yeah, yeah.
weirdo. Like, oh yeah, that was me.
Just happy.
Yeah. Oh, the ugly cry. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Yep.
Yeah. That's amazing though. That's an
I,
excellent story to tell when you're 60, you know?
right. I think that that was like I think that's why I really liked Austin because again, it's like you never know. Like
Right.
I've gone to shows and like so like I don't know, for me most of the time I don't know what half of these bands that I listen to even look like. Like I like the music.
Right.
And like you could be sitting there at any time and just be having a conversation with like somebody at the bar or just somebody randomly when you go out to smoke a cigarette or whatever.
Mhm.
And like a few minutes later, somebody's like, "Oh, hey, can I have your autograph?" And you're sitting there like, "Who the fuck is this
Right,
person?"
right.
Right? Like, and then, "Oh, you were in excuse me, what?" Like, and then I'm just like, "I'm sorry, I forgot all words and like don't even know how to function anymore."
Sorry, but now
Uh,
I'm a loosey goosey and I've lost all control of my words. That's
Yep.
funny. Yeah, what's it called? The I don't know what bands look like anymore either.
Especially like all the screamo bands and stuff. Like they all look the same. So if you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all, right? So why
I
do you
guess
have
so,
to
yeah.
know what they all look like?
Now, okay, so we've talked about concerts in Austin, but I want to stick with this emo thing of Vans shoes and why that made it on your list.
Because to this day, that's pretty much all I wear
Oh
my
yeah?
whole life. Mhm.
Flat shoes?
Mhm.
I love. No, it's fine. I loved Vans. My Vans were my favorite.
I had so many different colors. I was that kid that never wore the same color together. One was always different. Like one would be checkered, one might be plain. We might wear two different colored checkered one day. I always drew on them. I was that kid.
Yeah, the drawing. Hey, hired gun, thank you so much for the raid. I dropped my headband and or my headpiece and now it's on the floor and it's driving me crazy. Um okay, so who amongst us didn't draw on their Van shoes? I wasn't allowed to.
I wasn't allowed to, but I still did. That dude, my mom would get so mad. Why did I have to spend so much money for these shoes? And you're just gonna draw on them, but like they were good drawings.
When
So,
my
like, I would be like, "But they're good."
Oh my gosh. Okay. When I can't stop a fiddle and it takes me to riddle and I'm popping and I'm sailing, man. Doot doot. You wore Converse and never drew on them? I feel like Converse and Vans had this like unspoken
Yeah.
war between the two of them. And I had both.
My Converse couldn't be clean. Like, my mom hated that. See, I would never do it in front of her, but she knew. Like, as soon as I was not around her and I had the new pair on,
Mm-hmm.
I rubbed them in dirt. Like, I could not stand the white being all white and clean. I was like, I hate this. I hate this so much.
Yeah, that's when my friends would draw on their Converse because she also
Mhm.
hated the same thing. Having
Yeah.
that white space is so white, and just go run
Mhm.
around in the mud and you'll be fine.
Mhm.
Okay, so with Vans, let's see, in pop culture, yeah, there's tons of stuff in pop culture, but mainly what's weird is that it's a skateboard shoe, right? But
Mhm.
and I knew a lot of skateboarders, and some of them wore Vans, and some of them wore Converse. But a lot of people would be like do barefoot. Do you know a lot of? Did you ever see a lot of skaters go barefoot?
I never saw. So I lived on the beach
Okay.
during this era of my life. So there was a ton of skaters and there was a ton of surfers.
Okay.
And usually what it if it wasn't Vans, they wore that's when like remember like the Bam Margera skate shoes that had
Mm-hmm.
like the really that basically you had your skinny ass ankles and anybody who wore these shoes your feet looked like they were 10 times the size that they actually are skate shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are what we saw or rainbow flip-flops, the leather ones that like you hated them when they were new, but once they got wet a few times and you broke them in, then they were like the most comfortable shoes ever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. My Converse were in a gallery, a real conversation piece. Oh, MK, I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here.
Oh, jelly shoes.
Oh
Oh
my god,
man.
yeah, the jelly flops.
Oh yes.
Let me see something real quick. I have to make sure that. Oh god, please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Keep going. Go ahead. Okay, I'm just gonna let it ride. Okay. My mix it up was acting funny, and so I had to fix it. I'm sorry. So yeah, the Vans were the primary sponsor of Warp Tour, which is why I
Mhm.
knew them so well. And then who else was Monster Energy drinks
Mhm.
and Red Bull,
Mhm.
the feud of the two.
I remember in the beginning, if you went to like when I was younger and you went to like an event,
Mm-hmm.
Monsters and Red Bulls used to be cheaper.
Oh
And
yeah,
then I remember all of a sudden, then it was like, oh, they caught on. And then it was like, boom. Like if you were at a concert, it was like $10 for a Red Bull. Like, get out.
yeah. It was that, or they would go ahead and give you like sips to try it, and like
Mm-hmm.
you would see in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take this shot of energy. This will definitely make me want to buy one.
Yep.
And it
Yep.
did because I bought one because I think that was the first time I ever tried Red Bull. I saw the commercials, the Red Bull gives you wings commercials.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, I want to buy one. When did these come out? That's what I'm curious of. 1987. What? No way it's that old. Not that that's old. I'm just saying no way that it's that long of a time ago. Gotta watch my audience here.
Well,
um,
technically, that's like a year before I was born. So,
yeah. Year before you were, yeah, you're about the same age as a few of my best friends. I'm a 91 baby. Can't help it.
it's so weird to hear. Like, when, oh, I was born in the 90s.
You want to
That's like,
talk about weird? I have two friends right now that are 21.
Stop it.
It's
It is
horrifying.
weird. I think I'm young, and then I talk to young people, and then I'm like, I'm not young.
It's horrifying to talk to them about things like AOL Instant Messenger and having to use MapQuest and like all they're like, I would never imagine that you could
Right?
use MapQuest, and I was like,
Right?
yeah,
Right? Remember the days when you had to print out directions to go somewhere and you
everyone had a
hoped to
printer.
God those were right? Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Everyone had to have a printer. You didn't know where you were going. And then Galvos, he always asks me why I'm so good with directions. And I'm like, because I once I go one place with the MapQuest directions, I don't want to have to use those directions again. Like I
Yeah.
just figure it out at that point.
Yep.
MapQuest.
Uh,
I get it,
yeah.
hired gun. You want to be called old, but I'm not gonna call you old, even though you were in college when I was born. Okay, so let me look down here. Do 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 do. What is okay? You're gonna laugh at me. What is Negan?
Like from The Walking Dead.
Okay, I
The
don't
guy from
know.
The Walking Dead?
I'm sorry,
No.
I've never seen The Walking Dead, but
That's
um,
okay.
okay, let's talk about Negan. This one, there are a few that intrigued me, and so that's why I'm really glad. Oh, I've seen this guy before. He's the guy from
Mhm.
Grey's Anatomy. He was,
Yes, there's always it cracks me up is where people know him from. Like you either know him from like Grey's Anatomy or people are like, "Oh, I know him from Walking Dead," or people are like, "I know him from Supernatural." Like I feel like those are
yeah.
like any of the three things somebody says.
Oh yeah, and Watchmen. I know him from Watchmen as well.
Mhm. That's right. Yep.
He was in
Watchmen.
Supernatural. But yeah, I knew him as Denny in Grey's Anatomy. You want to talk about, oh my god, that was the prime time, 2006 to 2009. But anyway, moving along. Let's go to Negan. He's a hottie. He's a
I
definite
mean,
hottie. Let me
and
see.
and he
He's
always plays those characters that you're supposed to hate, but
yes.
then like that part of my brain is, "Oh no.
Yeah.
You're an issue. I like this character."
Right, right. So tell me about his why you put him on the list.
I think that the reason I really like him is because so like you're supposed to hate him,
Hmm.
right? And the way he's portrayed in the show versus what he was in the book too, or a little or in the comics, I mean, were a little bit different. But like I think what I like about that character is like sometimes the even though it's crappy, like that's the way things have to be for things to go. And I think that that was a part of that character that I really liked is like he took initiative and was like, all right, well, nobody else is stepping up. Now, did he make obviously he's not a likable character. He did a lot of really shitty things, but just like because of obviously you're in a post-apocalyptic world,
Right?
like things are going to be rough, but like he did what he needed to, I guess, to
Yeah.
make a to get things to work, to have like a ship that ran and people survived and people weren't dying and like yeah, was he crappy, but like by the same like if you just did what you were supposed to, you were fine. You know what I'm saying? You were
Right.
fine. So and you got taken care of. So like
Have you ever
and
seen the 100?
I've seen I've seen, like, the beginning. I always
Yeah.
start that, and
Yeah, the
then
beginning
I don't
isn't
know
great.
why I never yeah, it, like, is slow to start, I guess, and so then I, like
One of the girls that's in there, they end up getting trapped inside a bunker, and she basically is becomes this queen of all these people in this bunker, and she becomes the villain because she first of all was like queen, and secondly because she was trying to make everybody be able to survive, but she did it in not a great way. And so every to me that's what this seems is that if you did everything right, the character was fine and in line, but if you did something wrong, then this character was totally a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. And he ran a super tight ship, and like the means of getting what you needed to survive, yeah, the stuff he did was crappy, but like the people who lived under him survived. Like
Right.
he did, I guess, what it needed to. And so I think too, like just the parallel between, like, I guess the real world, because yeah, he was super brutal. He really was. But it's like it also teaches you in a way, like I don't believe in, like, yeah, you got to toughen up and have tough skin, but like in a way you kind of have
Right.
to
In a zombie
survive.
apocalyptic universe. Yeah.
Yeah, and in like an extreme situation like that, extreme measures sometimes need to be taken to start somewhere, right? Because
Right.
so, and I think that's why. And then you had like the other group, like Rick. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of Rick because it didn't feel like he was too wishy-washy, and he felt like a crybaby to me in the comics and in the show. And so I think that when Negan came around and was like, well, here's what it is, and like kind of put him in his place a little bit, it
Hmm.
like solidified, like, okay, yeah, this guy is not, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm not saying he deserved some of the stuff the dude did, but like it kind of showed, like, yeah, you kind of need to be, got to speak up if you want your people to survive,
Right.
I guess.
And what about that zombie apocalyptic thing tickles your fancy? Like, is it just the concept that it could happen? Is the concept that it can't happen?
I think like, do I believe that zombies are gonna happen? No, but a post-apocalyptic world, do I believe can happen? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I looked up Rick, and the only thing that I recognize when I look at him is the meme where he goes, Coral,
Cool.
Coral. It's the only thing I know about The Walking Dead.
That's all you need to know about Rick. That's
Yep.
him. Every episode.
Carl.
Cool.
I
Like
try.
it
I try.
bothered me. It bothered me so bad. Like I think a part of me too with Rick, like he let his son be super disrespectful to him, and I don't, like, that's your kid. Tell him to shut up and listen. Like
Right,
it's
right,
not like so when he was put in his place finally too, I think I was like, see, that's what you needed to do to your kid.
right. Get him into shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the other one that you had written down with a question mark was Grogu. What's that from?
The Mandalorian.
Okay. You can't judge me on things that I don't know,
I
so.
don't know. I don't judge you. Not
Okay,
at all.
cool, cool, cool. Oh, it's Baby
It's
Yoda.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Baby Yoda
Okay, okay, that's fair. Referred to referred to as Baby Yoda, but is named Grogu. I
though.
will
Yes.
I will call it Grogu from here on out.
Okay.
Okay.
So he is like 50
Okay.
actually. And cuz his kind get hundreds of years old.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, he's just cute.
I
So I
can
have
believe
this
you.
thing that when I see cute stuff, it like makes my brain want to pop.
It's so fluffy.
Literally, I'm that little girl. Like I talk about my dog a lot, and I'm always like, Oswald, you just look so cute and peaceful. I just want to fuck your life up right now because you're
Right.
so cute.
Oh
Like
my
that.
god, I just want I always joke because it's bad because I always say I want to shake you, but then I'm like don't shake the baby. Like it gets a little touchy there, so I try my best to not say I want to shake you cuz then that's just,
All I could
you
see
don't say those things.
when you said that, all I could think of was Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Andy Alex, hello. Um oh god, that's so funny. I didn't mean to say that. I mean, I did, but I didn't. Cuz I know my cat is so cute and I just want to shake her, but like you can't tell others that you want to do that. And you also
I
can't do
know.
that.
Okay, but here's the thing. Did you know that it's an actual thing that, like, it's just the way our brain chemicals react, but, like, when we see something cute. So, remember, Tiny Toons?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was her name?
El-
Elmira?
Elvira, I think.
Or it
Or
was
might.
something like that, and she was like, "I'm just gonna love you and hug you and squeeze you," and, like, you know how, like, little kids get, like, super, like, I don't wanna say violent, but they're, like, they manhandle pets a little bit more because they, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know, but, like, they also think it's cute. It's, like, something your brain does that is almost this same. I don't know how to word. I feel like I'm gonna word this so bad right now, but it's like,
Oh, that's why I couldn't do it. It's
it's so
Elmira.
cute, you just wanna, like, squeeze them. Like, I'll say about Oswald too, like, it makes you wanna physically, like, almost hurt it, but you don't wanna hurt it, it's just, like, that's what
Yeah,
there's a word for it.
I'm trying to
The
find
I
Elmira.
know. Let's see, let's look up, how about
Elmira. As villains, Elmira is seen as an extreme pet lover, while Montana Max is spoiled rich brat who comes in many toys. Elmira. Pinky Brain and Elmira. Reason informed that Elmira Jeff was excluded. Yeah, Elmira is like an actual person.
reason I was gonna say I felt like I think that character was based also on somebody's, like, granddaughter or something that worked on that show.
Elmira was supposed to be a Tiny Toon version of Elmer Fudd. That's why Elmira's last name is Duff, because it's backwards as Fudd.
Hmm.
But it's not backwards as Fudd. There's there's an extra F and an extra D. I can't tell if MK is messing or not because MK is always messing.
I think he might be telling the truth here because
Phonetically. Okay,
he
all
knows
right.
the little fun facts like this.
Okay, here we go. There are lists of them now. Elmira Duff, a 12-year-old redheaded girl with blue blouse, white skirt, black Mary jeans. Despite being based on Elmer Fudd, she has a similar face, and backwards is misspelled on Fudd. All right, MK, you win. I am tripping. She is one of the few human characters in the series. Elmira was featured as a co-protagonist. Whatever, whatever. I'm curious now. Okay, Elmira syndrome. No, that's not. I don't even know what this is. Does anyone have Elmira syndrome and think your baby is so cute you just want to hug them and squeeze them until they die? Let's go here. Until they until they snap in half. Um people are like crying about this. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared this is going to happen to me." Cuteness aggression. I have this so bad. Is it called cuteness aggression?
Actually, that sounds. Let's see. Let's look it up.
Cute
Let's
aggression.
see.
Or playful
Caused by seeing something cute, people they grit their teeth, clench their fists, feel the urge to bite, pinch, and squeeze something they consider cute.
There you go.
It's the actual response in the, like, obviously the difference is, like, acting on it or not,
Right.
right?
Look at
But,
this
like,
freaking
so
dog.
that's,
Don't you just want to squeeze him?
don't you just want to punch him in the face? He's so
I just want to tear your fucking ears off. You're so goddamn cute. That's fantastic. Interesting. So gritting the teeth and the urge to pinch or squeeze something that is unbearably cute. Wow. So there's languages. There's things for languages. It's for languages all over. Hides cats. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a special blend of evasive thoughts. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't talk about these out loud. Maybe these are the thoughts that need to stay indoors. I don't know. It's so funny. See something
You
cute
know
such as a
what? I
human
should ask.
baby or a young animal. I like how they have to say human baby and then it's highlighted that I can go ahead and click human baby. Wikipedia.
Oh, an infant. Oh,
Oh, yes, and young. A young baby is an infant. Oh my god, I learned something today. My god. All right, moving along. So, you were talking about Grogu.
because he's so cute.
Mhm. Listen, I am an amateur wiki user. I thought I was talking about Santa Baby until you clicked that link. My friend's eldest girl's like that with spiders. No.
Yeah,
I'm just going to shut that down and we're going to go back to
mm.
Grogu. Um, okay, so The Mandalorian. This is from Yao.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you like The Mandalorian? Are you just a big Star Wars fan or?
Um, yes.
Okay.
I well, I don't even know how to. The story kind of drew me in a little bit.
Okay.
That and he's so cute. Like he's so cute. I just want to like
Boop.
yeah.
You just want to go boop. He is so cute.
He really
Um.
is.
Okay, so going on
Like
to go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, if I had him as my pet, like, he would eat all of the bad stuff in the house. Like, if I had a spider, he'd eat it. No problem. If I had rodents, he'd eat them. No problem. He would take care of everything. So I wouldn't have to worry about bugs. And he'd be cute.
And he'd be cute, which is that makes sense. So speaking of super cute that you just want to shake them, Oswald. Tell me about your dog. What kind of?
He's a Boston Terrier. He's
Oh
a
my
Boston
god.
Terrier pit bull mix. So like he's the size of a Boston,
Mhm.
but he has the head of a pit bull. So like imagine a pit bull's head the size of that Boston Terrier right there.
Wow. Now, goddamn stupid ass thing. I keep playing with my hairband and then I keep dropping it. And you know my ADD can't let that happen. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna put this on the table so it's not on the floor, and we're gonna move along. Okay, so Oswald is a Boston Terrier with pit bull mix.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
yeah, tell me about him.
he was adopted. I got him when he was like 6 weeks ish old. Him and his brothers and sisters were found in a potato sack that was meant to be thrown like in a river.
Oh my
This was in
god.
this was in Texas. So what happened a lot in the town that I lived in, so it was a area that had a lot of like dog fighting. So if a dog got in and the litter was like tainted or whatever and they weren't full-blooded like pits, a lot of the times the litters would just like get
Thrown
discarded
out.
in some way.
Wow.
Yeah. So like there was 6 of them that were found in the potato sack, and like of course all of them came up to me and he sat in the corner and wouldn't even look at me, and I was like, yep, that one's
Oh
it.
gosh. Oh gosh. I gotta tell you, this picture right now looks like you're the dog head. I'm not gonna lie. You are Oswald. We are Oswald. Oswald is okay, so you found him and how did you he's obviously gone a long way with you.
Mhm. I've had him since I was 22.
Wow.
Yes. He is a very old man.
Aw.
Very,
Aw.
very old man. Likes treats.
Yeah.
Very food motivated for sure.
Did he look like this when he was younger? This little tiny. This one's a tiny one, but just the puppy face.
He looked like a bat.
Oh,
So
really?
his ears are huge. So that's why he's named Oswald, because he resembled a bat when he was a puppy, because his head was he has had a gigantic freaking head since he was like so but when he had them up when he was a puppy, because of the way his face was, he definitely resembled a bat. Yep. And I had a friend and her dog's name was Bruce, and I was like, I can't name him Bruce. And so I went with Penguin,
Okay.
because he had a penguin blanket that he and so I was like, well, it fits, I guess. So
Yeah. Aw, that's so cute. And hi, Alki. Um, okay, so you've had. Oh, I can hear myself echoing a little bit. Um, Let me see. Uh, Perfect. So you've had Oswald for 12, 13 years.
yeah, actually.
Okay. Now what what am I trying to say? Where have you moved from? Like you've been in Texas, you've been in where?
I got him in Texas. I was born in New Jersey.
Woot woot.
I right. And then I lived upstate New York for a while, near the Binghamton area.
Mhm.
And then I moved down to Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. We were
Okay.
on the beach for a while. And then I went to Texas and then Colorado, and now I'm back East Coast again.
Wow, that's quite a journey.
Hmm.
I've literally lived in New Jersey and then here in Missouri. That's my moving saga. Is like I went 19 years in New Jersey and the rest of them are in Missouri.
And 6 months in Ireland, I guess. Count.
What? That's so cool.
Mhm.
Your life is so interesting. I'm so
It's
glad
really
you're
not
here.
though.
No, it
But the
is.
but the thing is, like, I have a couple of cool stories, and it's like they all happened in like a time, like when I was young, in like a couple of years span, and then I'm like, up, I've got nothing else.
This is all I got. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we talked about cute things. We talked about Grogu. Um, let's talk about Stranger Things since we were talking about Walking Dead.
Okay.
So again, another thing that I have not seen. Explain to me why you like Stranger Things.
Because 80s.
Ah, so the
I
nostalgia
am
factor.
yes. There's stuff in that show that I'm like, "Oh, I had that toy. Oh, I had this when I was a kid. Oh, I remember that commercial when I was a kid." And it's like I just and even when they brought back a lot of like they used a lot of actors from movies from that time too.
Oh wow,
It just yeah, all the
nostalgia city.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. I like.
And
Go ahead.
Dungeons and Dragons. It's Dungeons and Dragons,
Are
like
you in a
all
Dungeons and
of it.
Dragons or
Yeah.
you are?
Yeah. Mhm.
So what would you play? What is your
I
Dungeons and Dragons?
usually I like magic type, or I usually run like a rogue type
Okay.
character.
Okay.
I did a Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons campaign one time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Where were you
Mhm.
there at that point?
I was what did I play? Her name was Gru. It was oh man, now I'm trying to remember. I know she worked on ships. She was like an industrial worker.
Oh
I don't
wow,
remember.
okay.
I don't remember like the class names from the Star Wars stuff, but
Right. So that's really sweet. So um let me see if they have. I know this would be a stretch, but I want to see Star Wars Dungeons. No.
like the kid from the Goonies is in Stranger Things. You have seen the Goonies, right?
A long time ago.
Okay, but you've at least seen it.
I have at least seen it. Another thing you won't judge me for?
Mm.
Uh,
That
um,
was just that was just what I grew like my grandpa was that person that like taped everything.
yeah, okay.
Like if it was so like I that's probably a huge reason why I saw everything. That was just how my family was. They were big into movies and stuff.
We were big into the huge blockbusters that my dad could put on the Dolby Digital surround sound
Oh
and
yeah.
freak out the
Mhm.
neighbors. So like Jurassic
Mhm.
Park was like in our
Mhm.
house, and we lived in like a double wide trailer, right? So there's not a lot of room for that sound to go. So I don't know if you remember. Oh, you would, because you were talking about Tiny Toons and stuff, where they go the THX and it goes burn, then it goes the audience is
Mhm.
now deaf. That was my
Mhm.
house. That was exactly what it
Yes.
was. But I haven't seen a lot of other movies because I just saw like these weird blockbusters in the early 90s, and then I kind of went into music and never and at that time with ADD and all that stuff, like I didn't really care about movies, like too hard to focus.
So so that actually kind of I remember so my dad was the type of person where everything had to be Dolby Digital. We had to
Mhm.
have our surround sound. We had to have the gigantic TV that like my mom watched way too much QVC on, and so like the QVC was burnt into the TV screen
Oh
type
my god,
television. And
yes.
then like my dad like it had to be widescreen. If it wasn't widescreen extended edition, we couldn't get the movie or we couldn't rent it or we couldn't watch it or it like that is how my whole yeah. And
Mhm.
laser discs, my dad
Laser
used to buy
disc.
those. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so it sounds like we have the same father here cuz this is
Right.
literally had to have the utmost everything in technology. Um and it as soon as the iPod came out, as soon as
Mhm.
the blue risk. That's Blu-ray disc. If you didn't know, that's
Mhm.
the fast term is blue risk. No, but Blu-ray, all that stuff. But Dolby Digital, that's funny. He used to take me to Radio Shack, and we used to look at different speakers. Like I could still remember how the speakers smell because he would take me to Radio Shack, and I would sit in a room with like leather chairs where they had a
I
movie
swear
on.
to God. I swear to God, we had the same dad
Yeah.
because this is like fucking it's dead on. It was or so that was when Tower Records still existed too. And
Mhm.
some of the Tower Records sometimes had if you were in the big one like the two-story ones in Jersey, they
Mhm.
usually had like either instruments or yeah, where they had speakers and
Yep.
CD players and I remember when they first came out where you could transfer your VHS stuff onto the machines where you can transfer your VHS tape onto a DVD and like write it onto the DVD. Dude, my dad like hid away in like his little basement den for like months and just literally just transferred over like
Everything to a
all of his yes.
DVD. Oh my
Oh my
gosh. That's
oh,
so funny. Yeah, Tower Records.
I
That's
remember that.
crazy.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That's funny. Yeah, and the you were talking about music too. It's so funny how they did have like all of this stuff in
Mm-hmm.
there like for to play with like for a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's almost
Yep.
like they thought like, hey, dads are going to bring their kids here, so we might as well give them something to do.
Yup, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You ever been to a car dealership and they have Legos?
Or the little, like, they always the Connect little things they would
Mm-hmm.
always have too when we
Yep.
would go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
whenever Dad went car shopping, they would stick me in the
Mhm.
corner and they had Legos, and I would just play with Legos.
They used to get, yeah, my dad and my grandpa used to get car shopping, and I feel like they only ever did this in Jersey, where they would get, you lease the car for like
Yep.
6 months and then you trade it in for something nice, and like every 6 months they got to trade off who wanted what car, and like every time my grandpa would pick like a Cadillac.
Oh God.
And everybody would think like, and we would drive around, and everybody would be like, "Oh my god, Cadillac." And it's like, dude, we don't own that.
Right.
He's giving it
It's
back in 6
leased.
right? He's giving it back in 6 weeks. Then one time my uncle, I think, picked a Jaguar, and my
Oh
grandpa
my
was
God.
so mad because there was like no back seat. And he's like, "How are the 3 of us gonna get to work in this?" He's like, "Well, I guess somebody's riding on the roof."
Yeah, my mom and my dad both leased.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even leased to own. Like
Yeah.
it was just leased.
Mhm.
Only one car leased to own, and then once it was owned, it was my car that I ended up getting as my first car because
What was it?
he wanted to lease another one. It was a 2002 Hyundai Elantra. 2000 2003. Hold on. Yeah, it had to be 2002 or 2003 Hyundai Elantra.
I gotcha.
What was your first car?
Mine was a 98 Honda Civic EX,
Civic EX.
black.
All right, let's do. This is 2017. So 1979, 87, 91. What year was it?
98.
So it would be between the sixth and seventh generation. So probably here.
I
No,
think I saw
this is 2000 and
go.
2001. So this is 96 to 2000.
So see that coupe? Scroll down a little bit.
Uh huh.
That coupe there is kind of, yeah, that's about what my car looked like. The 6th generation Civic coupe over there.
Coupe. What's a coupe?
Go scroll up a little bit more. It was the picture. The
Coupe.
third blue car.
Got
The
it.
third blue car. Yep. That one. That's what my car was, but it was black.
Wow. It's not a bad car.
$1,000. I worked so hard for that car. Yeah, I started working at like 14 and found odd jobs, and like teachers and stuff from school used to have like seafood shops and stuff. And they would pay us like under the table.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
my first job was at a pizzeria.
I worked
So,
at I that was my first legal job, was
right.
at
That was
a
not my first
pizzeria.
legal job. And then I worked at ShopRite for.
Oh my god, ShopRite. The only dude, I still think to this day that ShopRite has still been the only food store I've ever been in that also has a liquor section.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen another.
We have it all over Missouri. We have Harry's Liquors in our Stop and Shop, Shop and Save. I don't know the name of it because I always mix it up with the one in Jersey.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't remember what the one is in Jersey called, but it's like when you go into the ShopRite and then they have like a store within the store and you feel
yeah,
like you're going to like the VIP side because there's like nobody there and it's just full of all beer and liquor.
yeah, that's a thing. I mean, that's how it is. You can buy liquor at Walgreens here, so it's a weird place. But the thing that I was gonna say is that to this day, I still call the plastic bags ShopRite bags.
Mm,
And so I'll be like, Galvos, get me a ShopRite bag. And he's like, what? I was like, sorry, the
My
plastic
my
bag.
mom does that too. My
Really?
mom does that too, and I remember her current husband. I remember when they first got married and he moved in. She'd be like, "The ShopRite bag." fuck is a ShopRite bag? What are you talking about? I'm like, she's talking about the plastic bag, the plastic bags that are under the sink that we have a million of. Grab a plastic bag.
That's
But
funny.
there's not even a shop right here. And it's just, that's what she's talking about. That's what she calls them. That's what
Right.
she's called them the whole 100 years of my life. That's what she means.
Yep. Yep. I didn't know that it was based out of New Jersey. Some town I've
Mm-hmm.
never heard of. Keysby, New Jersey. Where the hell is this? Is it in Monmouth County? There's 9, there's 95. Looks like Monmouth County. What county? Middlesex. I was close. But Keesley, huh? Keysby. But yeah, it's for all of you who don't know what we're talking about ShopRite, that's why I wanted to bring up this page. Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania is pretty much where ShopRite lies. But yeah, let's have this is the logo that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
This logo right here, man, that
Yep,
brings
that's
back
the one I
memories.
remember. The one in Ramsey.
Do you remember
That was a
the
huge
can
shop,
can
right?
sale?
I was just about to say, I remember the commercial on TV that where they're all animated, and it was like the animation, like the when you go to the movie theater and it's the snacks.
Yeah. ShopRite. Da, 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 can. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And then of course the ShopRite and always save.
Yes, the radio commercial.
Yep.
Yes. Hmm.
That's funny. Yeah, so let's get off the topic of food stores. I'm lying. Let's go to the topic of food stores. Let's talk about Taco Bell. Let's talk about Taco Bell. What why are you addicted to Taco Bell?
I really don't know. It's just my favorite. I just want it all the time, all day, every day.
What's your
Nacho
go-to?
fries. Nacho fries are the best.
Nacho
When nacho
fries.
fries come back, I'm always like, "Oh my god." At first, so, like, nacho fries were one of those things that when they first introduced them, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's disgusting." But then, like, I was broke one day, and so I got one of those, like, $5 boxes, and it
Yeah.
came with one, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever had." Oh, it was great, and now, like, they're only ever there for, like, a week at a time, and I hate it.
That sucks. That's kind of
Mhm.
like I know a lot of people don't like McDonald's, but that's kind of like the McRib.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I secretly love the McRib. I know I shouldn't, but I do.
It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, so when did Taco Bell come around? 1962.
So I think what started it was when you were young and you were broke. Taco Bell, you could literally eat so much food for like $3. And
Yeah,
so like when you were in high school and you got like that little, if you were one of the bad kids, that like smoked and stuff.
right.
After school, that's where you go. Oh, I'm hungry, and you go to Taco Bell. You get so much food. I remember $5 got you like, dude, you ate for like 2 days.
That's how it.
$5
That's how it
Taco
used to be
Bell.
at Wendy's.
Mhm.
Wendy's
Dude, do
used to
you
have a.
remember
Go ahead.
99-cent nuggets from Wendy's?
Yep. I used
Yep.
to before I had my job. While I had my job at Shoprite, if I was able to
Mhm.
stop at Wendy's, I was able to get myself a soda. I was able to get myself 2 things of nuggets, French fries, and like something else, all for $5.
Mhm.
And then once they started raising their prices, I was like, I guess this dollar can of Pringles will do. Like, and that was on sale. You know what I'm saying? And there was one time
Yeah.
during my lunch break, an entire thing of Oreos because it was all I could afford. It was under $5.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I digress. So the boxes, they made the boxes probably pretty mainstream. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And so let's see. So another thing is when I was in hair school, I worked at Taco Bell
Mm-hmm.
and learned about like different ways to order stuff too. So obviously, so then it's like, oh hey, I can order stuff for cheap.
Right.
So like you learn, so a lot of that stuff doesn't work anymore, but I still kind of learn the ways. Chipotle is another one.
Yeah.
Chipotle and
Chipotle.
Taco Bell are just like my, yeah.
The Well, I wouldn't say Tex-Mex. It would be like American mix.
Yeah,
Now, what's your go-to for chipotle?
the steak burrito.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you
Uh,
get extra everything.
Interesting. Yeah, I mine is the pork tacos. It's
Those are good.
carnitas something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think carnita's the pork one, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know Spanish very well.
They have the barbacoa there too.
Right. I don't know, I just really like their pork. They make it really well and it's really well seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
Um okay, chipotle, the name for jalapeno chili peppers. That's probably why there's a chili pepper in the middle. First came out in 1993. It's almost 30 years old. In July, Chipotle will be 30 years old. Ew.
So weird.
It's so fucking weird. 3,000 locations and it's up right now in the incomes. But I'm curious, number of employees 105,000. But I'm curious, where is it? Revenue 8.6 billion. That's crazy. That's
It is,
crazy.
well, I mean, they have raised their prices to like $30 for a burrito. Dude, I remember, man, when you could go to Chipotle and you can get your burrito and your chips and your drink and a large drink at that, and it was like $8.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like $20 gets you your burrito. And I wish I was exaggerating, but that's basically what it is. Like,
No, I get it. And the ones that haven't shot up, in my opinion, is Wendy's $5 box and KFC's $5 box. And
yeah.
those will give you actual value for like sort of, you might want to get like two $5 ones, but
And that's
go ahead.
that's what Taco Bell turned I was gonna say that's what Taco Bell turned into. Like now, like you don't go to order the meals. If you go there, you're gonna get the like whatever their special combo is at the time.
Right.
And that's what's worth the money.
I always get a cheesy gordita crunch.
Those things are pretty bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Mm,
the little cinnamon swirls.
those things are awesome too.
Yeah.
I think that those cinnamon things might be different in the UK though.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I've had a lot of people in the UK tell me that they did not like it because it tastes like peanut packing.
Spell cinnamon. Cinnamon. Cinnamon crispas. That's what they're called. Other discontinued items. What?
Nah, those are still there.
I hope so.
Those are definitely the cinnamon twist things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
those are absolutely still there.
Mexamelt. Oh
Dude,
man.
that thing was so good. And then let's see what was there is the potato Rito one and the volcano taco.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, those were the two. The potato burrito that had like the potato and the nacho cheese and the sour cream. Yep, the cheesy potato. Yep,
That sounds really good, actually.
that was so. And those used to be, and that was when I was first out on my own and I was paying rent and everything myself. And I used to eat like live off of those because it was like for $5 I ate all day.
Interesting.
And then I remember they came back and I was like, what? This is like $3 for this thing. This was like a dollar menu item.
The
It hurt.
let's see, the Taco Bell in Finland, the first country to include pulled oats, a meat substitute, in the menu in 2017. That's pretty progressive.
Pulled oats? What's that?
Let's find out. Wikipedia does not have an article with this exact name. That's helpful. Quaker Oats Company, like Aunt Jemima, I don't think that's going to help me. So pulled oats, we don't know. Let's look it up
Let's
on the
see.
Google. Okay, pulled oats new plant-based meat pulled oats debuts in the U.S. Well, if it's been in Finland since like forever,
Fava beans.
yeah, developed in Finland in 2015. It's made from the combination of oats, fava beans, yellow peas, cold pressed, repressed olive. Its result is a vegan crumble. Excuse me. Meat substitute that has a meat pulled texture. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I need it with some Chianti.
Yeah. I think I need anything with Chianti. That would
But
be.
but anytime somebody says fava beans, that's all I could think of is Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. If carnitas is pulled pork, then is sausage pushed pork? Oh my god, MK, you've been listing these out, and I swear I've been reading them, and I've been trying not to laugh my ass off the whole time. So I promise you, I want to validate you that you are doing an excellent job, but I'm trying to do my job. Listen, my goal is to throw y'all off your game. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing pretty great over here, trying to, you know, block your throws. A plus. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Canada, Mexico. It's weird to have a Taco Bell in Mexico. Yeah, Taco Bell has attempted to enter the Mexican market twice. After highly publicized launch in Mexico City in 1992, all restaurants were closed 2 years later. In 2007, it returned to Monterrey, projecting an American image with an Americanized menu that included French fries, but it closed in 2011 due to low patronage.
Taco Bell in Ireland up in Belfast had spaghetti on their menu.
What? Where's Ireland? I don't even see it on here.
And that was kind of weird.
Oh, Taco Bell's present in Aruba. I know that. I've seen one. A clothing line. Forever 21 produced a clothing line in partnership with Taco Bell featuring branded t-shirts as well as bodysuits to look like a border sauce packet. Why does this exist? What?
Want one? What? I need one of those.
That is what, but I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, why does it exist? Forever
Because why
21.
not?
You're not wrong. I mean, I can't blame you. I can't
The
blame you.
same way, listen, look, I was guilty. And I think the only reason why I don't have it is because they messed up. But like, remember Xbox made those onesies? And they were made just for, so like you can fit your controller and stuff in the pocket. So it like had hoodie pocket, like so you know the way the hoodie has the pockets on the front? They had it so like they had a hood that worked with your headset when you were playing, and then they had the pockets that you can fit your controller in.
No,
And
I don't know any of this.
the big flex was that your Elite controller fit in it. So like if you had to go up and do something, like it's so that it was like so you weren't putting down your controller.
Oh, wow.
And I had two of them on pre-order, and then like usual, it never works the way it was supposed to. And then I get an email, sorry, we had to cancel your order. There was
Damn.
just too many. And I was like, wow, imagine.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about Xbox.
That was back on Mixer days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xbox. Mm-hmm.
So, do you use the Xbox Game Pass on your computer, the crossplay?
Mm-hmm. I use both,
Okay, so you
actually.
do have your Xbox. What is it? Series S one. What do you use?
I have the fridge one,
I don't know what that means.
the big square. I don't remember the names of them
This
anymore.
one here.
The one that looks like the fridge, the mini fridge. Scroll down. Series X, is
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. MK just said it was the Series X too. Yeah, I think it's the Series X.
Okay. Yeah, mine is still the Xbox One. We still have two Xbox Ones. They work perfectly fine.
I was very fortunate to get mine because I had a friend that when new stuff like that came out, he would always like he had all the emails sent like so like he got special notifications and he knew like all the websites to sit and keep refreshing to try to find stuff and try to find the sale stuff and he just he found them, they were available, he grabbed two and was just like here you go and then
Wow.
that was yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Galvas's friend gave it to us for like $100. And then the other
Yeah.
one we bought ourselves back when
Yeah.
Xbox One was new.
I was fortunate enough he let me pay him back like little by little because I just didn't feel right him paying for a flat out Xbox. But like yeah, that
Yeah.
we paid it off. But it was ripped so that it was just really because at that time when those came out, I was still streaming from my Xbox
Okay.
through a capture card. I didn't have a gaming PC yet, so it was kind of like what's I think I forget what was coming out, but there was a game that it was kind of like, huh? Oh, Cyberpunk. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, we kind of needed that at the time.
No, I want Cyberpunk the video game.
Which, for the record, I really hate that this game got so much crap.
There's
And
Cyberpunk's a
it's.
game from 1993. I don't think that's what I want. I don't think that's what I want. Cyberpunk, it's telling me that the only one is the
I think
2020.
20. I think it's 20. Isn't that it? The 2077? Yep, that one's it.
2020? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I just it just sucks because I that game so I didn't have a whole lot of issues on my Xbox, obviously. But like that game got so much hate for being rushed and whatever and it kind of makes me sad because I really feel like that had like Skyrim potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Lux File. Wiki Wednesday is where we go ahead and interview some streamers and some people that we really, really like, and we go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole going over interests. So definitely sit back, relax, and enjoy the sweet sounds of MzFitt and myself talking about Cyberpunk and how it was possibly rushed too fast. Is that right? Did I do that well?
Mm,
I feel
you
like
got
I
it.
feel like that was a good introduction.
That was a very good one.
Um, it's like a talk show, exactly. Um, Okay, so you wanted it. So you started streaming it or no?
So I did try to stream it in the beginning, but then realized pretty quick it probably wasn't the best for stream. So I did a lot of that game in our Discord.
Okay.
We hung out and stuff, but it was such a I didn't get to completely finish it. I know I got at least halfway through, but it sucks to like I was actually enjoying it, but like you know when you enjoy something and everybody has such a negative whatever about it
Yeah.
and then you're trying to like I don't care that you don't like it, but then like when you hear it enough, you're just like, all right, I'm over this. I don't that's like kind of what happened because everybody and if people would have just shut up and maybe give it a chance, like it actually was not that bad.
Can I ask
Like
you a real question?
what's up?
Do you feel that way about Fortnite?
Oh God. Here we go.
I used to hate that game so much.
Uh,
But listen, I didn't shove okay, but see, I didn't like try to shove that down people, right? I only put my 2 cents into it if somebody was like, "Oh, hey, Fortnite," and then wants to be like, "That's the greatest game ever."
oh my gosh. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's games like Fortnite and Minecraft, they sometimes get a really bad rap for being what they are. But I
Mhm.
mean, there's like Fortnite leagues of friends of mine where they just go ahead and chill and play Fortnite, and they don't play they play it doesn't seem like they play super competitively. Like they play co-op.
Mhm.
I don't know how the game runs, but they make it.
So
Go ahead.
no, you can go ahead and finish. I thought you were done there. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm done. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about Fortnite. So,
So what I was gonna say is my first hate. So I streamed on Mixer, and Mixer and Fortnite first off.
oh my god, the blueberries.
And yeah, so like I I had a legit reason though for not it would before even that I Fortnite was one of the first games that I was super they did like a Kickstarter type thing with it. I remember it wasn't exactly Kickstarter when Fortnite I can't it may even be in there.
Early
There
release
was
in
no battle
2017.
royale.
Yeah, it was creative released in 2018. Save the World Creative.
Mhm.
Game modes. So there's Save the World's cooperative game. So that
Yes.
sounds like what they're probably playing.
So that was it was the first game. The only other games that I have ever actually spent like a large sum of money on up until like Destiny really was I always pre-ordered all the Assassin's Creed, so I got like all the special stuff with that. Remember when it was actually cool to actually have the physical game? I miss
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
Or midnight releases and like you got
Camped
the
outside of
game and
GameStop,
yes, and
Best
your
Buy.
friends or what's the video one? Blockbuster. We used to
Mm-hmm.
go do it at Blockbuster too. And it was like so like pre-orders at that I those it was when it kind of still meant something because a lot of times too you pre-ordered you got like a poster or something like that. So Fortnite though was one of the first games that I was super duper excited about like and I'm talking about the tower defense
Right.
like the non-battle royale side.
Tower defense
And
shooter.
they they it's like they kind of forgot about us. But the
Right.
thing is, Fortnite wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the people who backed that first part, right?
Right.
And then, so as soon as the Battle Royale came out and they realized the Battle Royale was something, first they like the Save the World stuff, there was a lot of broken stuff on there. And they like they ignored for a really long time. And then when they finally decided to fix it, they didn't let I remember it being a huge thing and it was when I first started getting into like Twitter to follow games and stuff too.
Yeah.
And I remember just the big outrage and everybody was like, "Dude, we like backed this game. We supported this game." Like it was like $90 I think I paid and waited and got like the special benefits or whatever. And then they reset progress and didn't
What?
even tell. So like we logged in one day and everybody's progress was like wiped.
Wow.
And you had to start over. They didn't even like they could have even wiped the progress and I feel like maybe at least given us our resources back or
Right.
something to
Right.
but no, they wiped and you had to start from like the very beginning and I was like, dude, that's
Mm,
and so that was my dislike for that game because they to me they kind of the only reason they existed was because of that part of the game.
right.
They were only able to go on because of that part of the game and then they kind of forgot about that fan base and just like and it kind of sucked. So that was the huge reason too why I have like a stick up my butt about Fortnite cuz that any Fortnite in any way shape or form all different ways of saying the word was like so blocked in
Yep.
my
Was it? What?
chat
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say,
so
wasn't it
long.
blocked in your chat?
And it
Yeah.
wasn't until recently when they took build mode off of the battle royale part, I was like, all right, I'll give this another shot. I needed something to shoot at. I needed some pew pew games.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, I'll try this.
Now, what is the difference between this and a Realm Royale?
Nothing really. Realm
Okay,
Royale, you just turn into a chicken.
that's right. That's
when you
right.
get knocked.
That's right. Yeah, because my
Which
friends are
I'm
always like,
actually
"Oh, I like Realm Royale better," and I'm like, "Is there really a difference?" Like,
I thought the cool thing about Realm Royale was they had like this magical staff as a weapon that you could use. They had like a fire staff and an ice staff, and it wasn't just guns.
okay, okay, that
And that
makes
was
sense.
part of a part of thing that I liked.
Okay, so let's go into. You said the secret word earlier. I don't know if you know what it is.
Secret word. Oh no.
It's destiny.
V-Bucks? Destiny.
I don't know if you
My
know
favorite.
this, but this conversation was destiny. You like that?
I like that.
Yeah, I thought about that one and I was like, I'm going to use that. That wasn't even generated just now. That was like, I thought on that.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank you.
very good one.
All right, so let's talk Destiny. You like Pew Pew? Is that what it is? Or what is a reason Destiny holds your heart?
Destiny holds my heart because first it was one of the very first FPS games I ever really started playing. I used to play RPGs
Okay.
like Dragon Age type stuff, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, like Diablo 2.
Oh my god.
Diablo 2 was one of my first online games. And so that's why I'm actually excited for the new Diablo.
Oh
But
my god,
anyways,
so excited about the new Diablo. But go on.
I know. I forgot you.
Huge Diablo
Oh
fan.
my god, so I have more people to play Diablo with.
Oh
Oh, it's
yeah,
gonna be so
Galvos
great.
and I are huge Diablo fans. So, and they're
You and
apparently
Galvos.
coming out with another beta test.
Yes, I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't get it the first time, if you level up to a certain point, you get a mount when the game
Nice,
comes out. Yeah,
nice.
that's one of the rewards. But yeah.
Yeah, we still
So
need to
Death,
pre-order.
yeah, we didn't I had a friend, I have a streamer friend that always jokes, and I'm like, I don't know if I can pre-order it. We still, because we have to get 2 copies in this household. And he's all like, homie, listen, you get the $100 one, you get the cheap one for the Xbox. You know your man don't need no skins. He was laughing, and it was so I was laughing so hard, and I was like, you know, the worst part about that is it's true
Right, right.
because he like I think it was until recently Manblins that he still used the OG Fortnite skins when he played.
That's
Like
crazy.
the very
She
first.
forced me to buy a skin because I had the V-Bucks and I had no skin.
That's great.
I was like, I can't stand it. You can't be a no skin anymore. Like
It
we
was
need something.
fantastic.
Might as
Everyone,
well be naked. Is that
I
what
get
you
it.
want? You want to be naked?
Who doesn't though, man?
Right, for real. Okay, so Destiny. So you was your one of your first games like that.
Mhm. And it was one of the first games that I had found a group of people like to game with regularly. That was with D1.
Okay.
I didn't really get, and at that I think I played more PvP at that point too. I don't think I did a lot of PvE on Destiny 1. It wasn't until Destiny 2 that it got like um more into like the harder stuff
Okay.
rather than player versus player. I think a huge thing for me with this game is, for one, lore. Like this game is so, there's so many stories, there's so many like, it's like I can nerd out about that. Like I don't
Do
even know where
it.
to start.
Do it. All right. So tell
I
me
like
tell
there's
me
just so
three
much stuff I
things.
want to like.
Tell me three things. Tell me one why you like the lore.
So one thing I like about this game is there has been, so the same way, like, you know, when sometimes you find that emo song and it's just like it's there for you, you
Right.
know what I mean? There has been a lot of times in this game where the message has been whatever I might have had going on in my life might have been a message that I needed to hear in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I like that this game is very like So for example, the new there's a new character that came out with the new expansion, and their pronouns are they, them.
Oh, nice.
And that was just like, that was super fucking cool to me. Like
Yeah.
and Destiny does a lot of stuff like that. Will make it so like everybody's seen, I guess, type thing.
Yeah.
And they make a lot of the characters very relatable, I think, too, is a huge part of it. Like, you just have to follow it. And it's just everything as a whole. Like, the way Destiny's progressed, in my opinion, has been really great. Does it suck that there's parts of the game that maybe could use some sprucing up, maybe some extra maps in PvP or something like that? Yeah, I do. But like, honestly, for what it is, I think Destiny, the amount of content that they give you,
Right.
like, I understand Destiny is probably, I will say it's a very expensive game, right?
Right.
But for me, and because it's one of the only ones that I play, right? Like, okay, $100, and that's like the game for the year, right?
Right.
And that's
Right.
like all of my seasons, all of my everything. And then like, now I found out one of the, like, Game Pass, like we were talking about, one of the cool things, I can do stupid things on Bing, or just log into like a Game Pass game and you get points daily, right? And so like, there's my silver money for Destiny, you know what I mean? So
Right.
like, so that's usually how I do that. But that's the biggest thing for me. The amount of content you get for what you pay for, I feel like, is a huge
Yeah. That
thing for
100%.
me
Yeah, when
too.
you have a game that wraps it all around and, puts it in a bow.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think you feel that way about Destiny, and I'm sure tons of other people feel about Destiny as well.
Mm-hmm. And like, I also really like how, because you remember the days when, if you wanted to find out information about a game, you had to go to like, you remember
Yes.
gamefacts.com?
Yes,
And
yes,
that
yes.
either had, and if you wanted, right? So if you were having trouble trying to get through a game, that's where you usually found like your walkthroughs and stuff,
Yep.
before you had something like, YouTube videos showing you what to do. But like, those, you you had to look for information on stuff, right? And it just it just I don't know. I'm just like, so like,
Did I break you? What just
I think
happened?
I think I did. I think I'm just like broken nerding out over it.
No, that's good. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're passionate about something. And Galvos agrees the lore is incredibly well written. If they came out with a book, they'd read it in a heartbeat. So I think
Right.
I think that says something.
That's what, so one thing that I like very much too, and this might not be just Destiny, this might just maybe be the streamer in general, but like, my name is Bife, the guy who basically takes the Destiny lore and helps people make sense of it. Because like, Destiny, obviously, when you play Destiny, for the most part, you're not playing like a linear story. So it's like, there's the story there, but like, it's one of those, you have to pay attention to the little things to get the parts of the stories and where things are going and stuff like that. And like, a game that I have been a part of for so long, like Witch Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Witch Queen drops, and to date, that it's considered probably one of the best Destiny expansions, because that it between the writing, the voice actors, how they set up like the stage for Witch Queen like
I'm
a
trying to.
couple years ago, you know what I'm saying? And so when Witch Queen's story, and you get to the end of Witch Queen, and you finally get to that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like, what the fuck? All of this information was here in front of my face for like two years. So like, two expansions ago you literally set this up, and then you get a whole like Witch Queen was just a whole like
Wow. Yeah.
holy crap moment when
9
it
out of 10, 4 to 5, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. You know,
yeah,
that's awesome. The,
it
and
was
when you do a
very well.
setup like that, especially like even if in movies or stuff like that or TV shows, where
Mhm.
when you go back like The Magicians is a TV show that we loved, and
Mhm.
you go back and you're like, "Oh my god, how did I miss this? And how does this sets up everything? Like this all makes
Yeah.
sense now."
Cuz like Witch Queen, right? So you literally which is my so my other favorite Destiny expansion, and it's probably the least favorited by anybody else, but the Hive lore and the enemies that are involved in these two expansions are the reason why I'm like I like what happened to the Hive. Like I like their like why they became what they did. Like all of their magic, the things like that.
What was
But
the
that
expansion called?
um Shadowkeep,
Shadowkeep. Okay.
that was my favorite. So Shadowkeep is centered around Eris Morn is like one of the main characters in that expansion, and she is like so like long story short, she lost her fire team.
Okay.
She blames herself. She lives with all this guilt and stuff, and basically what she did to save us at one point is she took on like the burdens of like the ghosts of past type stuff, like guilt, phantoms, things like that, and she endures all of that. She made it so that she has to deal with it so that nobody else has to type magical thing.
Okay.
And so and that's what she always does. She you like they always make her seem like she's shady, but
Okay.
every single time she comes out as the person like that is trying to she battles within herself about like right and wrong. She wants to do the right thing. She's trying to do the right thing. Like she has a few screws loose. Like you can tell like she's kind of like I guess in a way, sort of like Rafiki, where he kind
Right.
of has like little Eris is like that in some ways, but like she's also very, very smart, and she like I just admire that, like taking on the burden yourself so that other people don't have to deal with it or other people don't have to hurt and stuff like that is like a huge.
Yeah.
She said no.
And we move on. Okay, so okay, so we got about 20 minutes left, so let's get into a few other things that I want to talk about. For instance, roller derby. I really liked this one. Tell me about roller derby.
Roller derby when I was in my angry Alanis Morissette stage of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Roller derby was a way to I didn't have hockey, so I went with roller derby, and it was just a very nice. It was nice to feel like you were a part of something,
Mm-hmm.
but it was also nice to be a part of something and kind of get to beat the crap out of people at the same time.
I
That
mean,
that was
yeah.
like like, and as cliche as it sounds, like honestly, if you've ever seen the movie or heard of you can even look it up. It's called
Oh.
crap, what is the name of the no. Hang on, let me look this up. It has the girl from Juno in it, and
This is for keep thinking about the one for gymnastics, not for roller derby.
who's the girl from 50 First Dates that lost her memory?
Uh, um, Joe Barrymore.
Yes. It was
Whip
called
It.
Whip It.
Whip
Yep.
It.
There was a lot of really good people in that movie, but actually that is a pretty good representation of honestly how derby life kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of togetherness, maybe not like the drama with like whatever, like the coach and stuff, but like the togetherness, the team standing up for, like, it didn't matter, you could have hated that girl on the team, but if somebody else was disrespecting, everybody stepped up.
Yeah.
Like you didn't care. And I was the little fast one that scored the points. And I've got some story. I have stories that I don't even know that I'm like proud of, but like I kind of am in some cases, because like some of these girls can be mean, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just like, ugh.
Yeah, that's the way it's kind of like a game mosh pit. Game.
Yeah.
I said game.
Mm-hmm.
Mosh pit.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're basically just bashing into each other, but with
Mm-hmm.
meaning.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of the same rules like in soccer, right? Where like no what do they call it? Like chicken wings.
Okay.
When you use your elbow to like try, like, so obviously it's a physical sport, but there's like certain ways that you're not supposed to, like, you don't get to elbow somebody, right? And there was this girl who, like, it was our championship game too. And there was this girl who kept like hitting me in like my ribs with her elbow, and by the third time I was like, I won't say exactly what I said.
No, that's fair. But you said it.
Because there was a lot of really ugly words in there, like a lot of cuss words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I won't. And I'm like, dude, do it one. But it was like one of a. But I swear to God, do it one more time.
Yeah.
One more time.
Did you win?
And then so I should have won. And this girl right at the end did the same thing, but at this time, finally, two other girls were able to like see it to the point where they could at least do like the what the fuck type thing.
Right.
I should have won. I should have won. She tripped me and hit me with her elbow, and it went like from my rib, and she like slid up to where it like kind of hit my chin a little bit too. So I was going so fast. I was right there, and it was like, it wasn't a flat track either. It was one of the like the kind, they're like kind of raised,
Okay.
I guess. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like the middle is lower than the outside of the track as you go around, so it's not like a flat. So like you have to have the really good aim or whatever. She hit me, and I went freaking. I don't think I had ever. This was probably one of the worst bruises I ever had too.
No.
And I went flying, and like there was scratches on my back from where I like kind of hit the side, and my skin like it was bad. This was probably like the worst fall I ever had. And she called she called me LeBron James.
What? What?
And that was it. That was it. I got up, and I tell you what, if you ever saw a person run in some roller skates, I tell you, I ran to that girl. And yeah, we fought. We definitely fought, and it took a couple people to pull us across. But like that was probably one of the worst, because we should have won.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We were so hard that season, and we should have won, and it hurt.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's all good.
So then after roller derby, because roller derby was in Texas, when I moved to Colorado, it went to soccer or hockey.
Okay.
So I just traded one for another.
Hockey is sweet. What's your team?
I like the Stars.
Okay. So you went. Oh,
I
and
know
that's Dallas.
I know. I know I'm supposed to be a Jersey Devils fan.
No, you're not.
but...
Nobody's ever supposed to be a Devils fan. I'm a Rangers fan by default because of my brother. but I do believe that no one should be a Devils fan. Yeah, I am on record by saying no. All right, so tell me something here, because I love when people throw random shit in here. Why do you hate corned beef?
Oh my god. Oh. So that was one of those things, like, my mom would make it. I would eat the potatoes. I would eat the cabbage. But just for let me tell you what I did when I was a kid. Corned beef was one of those meals that I wound up sitting at the table for like 100 years after dinner because I didn't want it.
Yeah.
And it's like the worst ever. So finally, my mom, she got to a point where like she's like, "All right, you're not gonna sit at the table. You're gonna take it to bed with you too." So like
What?
I started. My mom used to do this with ham sandwiches too. When I was a kid, I hated ham. I hated ham so much, but she would always make me ham and cheese sandwiches, and so like I'd bring the ham and cheese sandwiches upstairs, and I'd be watching TV in her room.
Uh-huh.
And I started putting my sandwiches like underneath her dresser.
Yes.
They had one of those old like I feel like being from New Jersey, you have to know what I'm talking about. Like the hutches that always because you see them everywhere in every store, and
Yeah.
I don't ever see them anywhere else. But they're like the hutches that always sit like they have the front cover where like the bottom is like some sort of fancy wave. So like basically you can't see under these things, right? But there's a little bit of room underneath them.
Oh yeah.
So first I started with those. I would throw the sandwiches under there. And then when she finally let me start bringing the meat upstairs, I cleared out one of like my Barbie like boxes, I guess.
Okay.
And I would just start throwing the piece. This is how I know that I was in the right for not liking this, okay? So I started putting them in like one of my Barbie shoe cases. And we were moving.
Oh God.
We start like this happened for like probably a good year or two, and then we moved, right?
Right.
So my mom found I will never forget. All of a sudden I hear my dad cracking up upstairs. And then it registers to me, kid me registers what they just found because we were to the point where we were moving furniture.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God. My dad's cracking up and I hear my mom, what the fuck? All those sandwiches? Sandwiches are under there. 2 years worth. She never ate it. Look at all this money. Like, oh my god, my mom like lost it. She went while my grandma and my dad and my grandpa are sitting there cracking up. And this is even happening, and I'm forgetting about the corned beef under my bed. So there it goes. So my mom was like, "What did you put?" She immediately was like, "So what's in your room, huh?" And she like bolts down. She found the freaking thing of corned beef. And you know how when you leave a McDonald's fries in your car, it doesn't change and
Yeah.
it still that is what this corned beef did. All it just looked like beef jerky. And it was like there was no mold, it didn't smell, there was no nothing, but it was just like you remember it was those pencil packs with the bumps on the top, the
Okay.
plastic pencil. That's what I had it in.
Oh
So
my
like I all
gosh.
these so it looked like I had beef jerky in a pencil pack
Oh my
with
God.
my shoes. Crayon.
That's fantastic. That
She was
is.
so mad.
I would be on the side of your dad.
Iraka.
Barbie Beef Box, new this summer. She's into Barbie. Oh, Barbie Beef Box sounds so gross.
It does. It sounds so bad. It's like something you get from Taco Bell after dark.
No, I mean, I get it. Barbie's Beef Box. Gross. Just gross. Okay, so the last one that I want to end off on is haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
So why does this make your list?
Because they're very cool. No, so when I lived in Colorado, I went to the Stanley Hotel,
Okay.
and like my whole life, I kind of like I believe there's something, but I just don't know what, right? But if you would have told me like, hey, you can get haunted or blah 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 blah, like I never would like no,
Right.
no. And so we did a tour of the Stanley Hotel, and when I went back after, and I actually used it was my iPhone. It was a brand new phone too, and at the time it was like took really nice pictures and stuff. The Stanley Hotel is actually where The Shining
Okay.
took place. That's what they actually filmed The Shining there, and they have the door, the famous door from that movie down in that place.
Huh.
In one of it's like on display. So like the Stanley Hotel was actually a plantation that a family it wasn't an actual hotel in the beginning.
Okay.
And so they have like off to the left of that picture, there's like a building where they went and held like all their fancy balls and stuff. Or and get-togethers or weddings or
Those kind of
or
balls.
things like
I'm with you
that.
now. I really swear to God. And I know it wasn't balls, but like I was literally thinking like exercise balls. You know what I'm talking about? Like the big
Yeah.
round ones. I did not register balls as a dance. So go ahead, go on.
Some balls are made for dancing.
Exactly.
Some balls are
But
made for
these are the biggest balls of them all.
So one of the parts of the tour they take you down to the pet cemetery.
Okay.
And I like it was kind of sad and they were cute, and that was at the time when I was doing like a lot of Instagram posting, so like I took a lot of pictures and I was going to be all like what's the word I'm looking for, like the emo kid and post like the aesthetic type, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then after that we went to where they did do like where that the concert, I guess it would maybe be the concert hall or something.
Okay.
um
Concert hall on it.
there's nobody there, right? They brought us to a completely empty building, and there was just basically, so like the upstairs wasn't any, so like if you stood downstairs
Mm-hmm.
you could see everything. There really was nothing in this building that could be hidden. Like if there was somebody there, that unless they were in the bathroom, which that there were, you would know if somebody was there, like there
Right.
wasn't a hiding spot.
Right.
So we finished that part of the tour. I asked to go to the bathroom. I don't think I have ever been so scared in my entire life, right?
Okay.
So I'm thinking that I'm hearing two people waiting outside the door to go to the bathroom after me, and I'm all like, hang on a second, because the door, somebody not like the door knocked.
Right.
I'm like, once, and I hear like muffled voices. So I go, I do my business, I come out, and nobody was there. And I'm like, So then I'm starting to like walk away, and I swear to God, it felt like there was somebody behind me, and like I felt it, like you, like that feeling on the back of your neck where you're like
Yeah,
scared.
yeah.
And I have never in my life, that was the first time I ever experienced that type of feeling. And I turn around real fast and I was like, hello? And I opened even the bathroom again, and I was like, there's nobody here. So I go outside. The door was closed. Like I couldn't even really get the front door open where everybody else was staying with the tour group. And I was like, was there somebody else can use the bathroom? The lady's like, there is nobody in there. We all came out here.
Oh my God.
I was like, what?
Oh
Oh, all
shit.
right. And so for like the rest of the time, I'm like, nah, and I'm like thinking, no, that didn't happen. I'm in
Right.
my head because I'm in a freaky place. Then they take us down, like, we go inside the building and they're showing us like the rooms that people have gotten like the most, like action, I guess,
Okay.
most like ghosty action.
Got it.
And we were all taking pictures me and my friends in like this giant mirror that
Okay.
was like at the end of the hall. And all the halls, by the way, in this whole hotel room look just like that famous scene where you see the two twins at the end of the
Oh,
hallway
okay,
and
yeah.
then the elevator opens with the blood. Like that is exactly how this place looks. And we took pictures and we were posing and stuff. So we went back, and when we uploaded all the pictures after like this whole trip to the computer,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of orbs and so many of the pictures was just like
Wow.
insane. And so that to me, like being, and like, am I sure that probably places like that could probably have people hiding for scare factor or whatever, but this did not, like pictures of dog graves with orbs on them. I was like,
Right.
that's a little, we were out in sunlight. Like you can't make that
Right.
happen. Like
Right. Wow.
pretty, yeah, that was pretty freaky.
That's
And I think
really
that
cool though. I mean, would you go back?
I would totally go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, so homie who scared me last time, I know you remember me.
Right, right. Great. Let's go. Come back.
Come back, tell me who you are.
Let's have a conversation. It'll be great.
But then all those shows are like, don't talk to it, because then you're letting it feed and letting it get bigger and letting
Right.
it like, and it's like, oh no.
Oh god, it's gonna feed on me.
It's
it's a
gonna
it's a
follow
ghost zombie. It's a ghost zombie. It's gonna feed on me. And then it all comes back to zombies. See, we wrapped it all up right there.
right? It
So,
all comes back. Pet
um,
Cemetery.
pitching an idea. All right, MK, you're bringing it home. What's the idea? MK's got an idea. MzFitt brings this ghost zombie back for the next Wiki Wednesday. Nah, I wouldn't want to talk to a ghost zombie. Or maybe I am
But
one. Okay, so that's pretty much wraps this up. Is there anything else in particular that was on your list that we didn't get to talk about, or anything in particular that you want to bring up? This would be the time to do so.
think of. I think we're good.
All right, cool, cool. Well, yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. This has been fun. We've been laughing and laughing, and it is so good to talk to you. It's so good to hear your voice, and it's so good to hear you laugh. You have always been an inspiration to me as far as your streaming abilities and your community buildings, and I'm so thankful that you were on today.
I'm really thankful that you had me, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Glad you're my friend.
I'm
I
glad
love
you're
your
my
face,
friend too.
honey.
Yeah, I love you too. All right, so next week we're gonna have Alky Mutation on. He is a Smilecore guitarist from Canada, so he does hard metal, soft metal, and is a really cool streamer. He's a really cool guy. So I'm glad you were entertained, MK. Definitely come on back next week. And then I'll be on a hiatus until May 24th, where we'll have Jerfo the Music Addict. Let's find real quick a place to raid. Raid out, raid in. Will Bob be joining him? Bob the White Demon might be joining him. We will see. Let me see here. They're gonna go off. No, no. Let's see how long this person's been on. Okay. So we're going to go over to Fartzar. He's the first one that I have ever been with, as far as, and that's not what I meant. This is the first person that I interviewed. I know, I'm so tired at this point. We're talking about ghost zombies and all that other shit. I know, you know. So, all right, guys, show him some love. He's a new streamer, newly affiliated. And thank you so much, MzFitt, and everyone have a great night.
Oh, thank you.
Raid and stop.